Welcome back to Weight with Jazz, a safe space to share all things weight related and a little bit of my life too. I used to be 284 pounds. 12 years ago, I lost 115 pounds, you guys, through intermittent fasting and running, and I chose to pursue the remaining pounds down through GLP-1 medication, zepbound and tirzepatide compound currently, which puts me at my maintenance weight between 125 and 135 pounds. So let's get into this week 25 maintenance update. Previous weeks, I have gained weight. That initially sounded an alarm for me because of how it fell. As I calculate my data now through my fitness pal, through that previous week, the influx of pounds happened over a course of 3 days. So consecutively it was 1 pound, 2 pound, 3 pounds. That leads me to think that that's definitely like inflammation, sodium related, water retention, and also some fat, because I'm not gonna lie, I was overly grazing. I was overly consuming my healthy foods as well as some of the more heavily caloric, simple carb foods. You know what I'm saying? The cookies. I did have highly, caloric gourmet cookies that, I sparingly ate, but I still end up consuming, at the end of the day, the calories associated to it, the macros, the fat, the sugar, all the things, and that accumulates over time, crept up on me and gave me this weight gain. I initially was 125, January 31st, Friday. Then Friday on February 7th, I weighed in at 126. Saturday, February 8th, I just wanted to see. I usually don't weigh myself consecutively, day after day. I usually do it just consecutive weeks. But I just wanted to see, because I saw there was an influx from 125 to 126. Weighed myself, I was 128. Then I'm like, what? Monday on the 10th, 2 days later, 130.6. This week, I am 129.6. I am 1 pound down. So I definitely made progress, tightening up through tracking my food consumption, which is important because I didn't realize that I was overly consuming my foods, just, with the extra servings sizes beyond 2 handfuls. I'm doing 3. I ain't gonna lie, sometimes I had some binge moments. Just, living, eating, living, enjoying. I am currently in maintenance. I am also in body recomposition, so I have to eat in line with my expenditure level. I expend a lot of calories out. I work out daily. I typically expend out about 1,000 calories with steps. 1,000 plus in general, steps and further movement throughout the day. I average out about 20,000 steps a day between my daily walking and then my movement throughout the day. That highly increases my caloric allowance impact amount to further add to my maintenance calories, allowing me to eat even more food, nutritionally dense food, that's going to further support me in my body recomposition, building muscle, losing fat, marginally. So I always need to be in a slight deficit, but I don't want my body to feel like it's being deprived and I'm feeling like I'm hungry. So then that means that I'm going to be overly in a surplus. I don't have to be that. Thanks to my levels of tracking now, I see that I don't have to be in a deprivation mode, and I can still be in a deficit and eat all the healthy foods and even some of the even more highly caloric dense foods in specific serving size moderation, and still feel satiated, satisfied, and undeprived. I'm finally here. I'm finally here. At first, it was a downside. I had so many schools of thought as to why I gained this weight: high sodium content, overly grazing, eating too many healthy fats, too many nuts and nut butters. All the things I was doing. This is the type of food that I eat every day. But I was eating beyond in the serving size because I'm just keeping a mental track. And because I'm eating just one major meal a day and then my little snacks, I'm thinking I had it in line enough. But no, I didn't, because I was over consuming. And I was over consuming probably because my ghrelin hormone, which that's the hormone for hunger, was ghrelin. You know what I'm saying? It increases more with the expenditure dished out. I exercise daily, regularly, so I extend out that energy. So I'm going to be hungry. I'm going to want to eat. So I'm going to eat. And because I'm in body recomposition, I need to eat. And I need to eat the nutrient dense complementing foods that's going to further support me in overall health and wellness in body recomposition. And I do, and I'm feeling so good about it. Before, without tracking this, I felt still semi under anxiety because I'm like, I'm mentally tracking, but I still feel like I don't have complete control. I feel like I'm still deprived. I don't have a full system of handle on this where I'm comfortable. I know exactly how much of this I can have. I can have what I want without feeling guilty and convicted. Now I feel like I can have what I want without feeling the guilt and conviction, because now I'm actually tracking it and I'm seeing the calories that I am allowed now that'll prevent me from over consuming. I don't have to still try to keep myself in such a strong deficit. I only need to be in a slight deficit for my body recomposition. And I don't have to worry about that too much because I extend the calories that allow me to have, extend the energy that allow me to have more calories. Let me give you this example. Today, today I extended about 1,158 calories of energy, calories burned, okay? That issued a whole other level of food allowance, increasing my maintenance, my initial maintenance goal of 1740. It increased that. So I'm able to consume 2,714 calories technically, and still have a deficit left over. And the thing here with the tracking, I don't under track. I over calculate my data just in case. I rather over calculate than under calculate, overestimate than underestimate. So I'm always good regardless. But I know for certain I don't overestimate my calories burned. That's picked up with motion anyway, from the tracker. And also, I know mentally how much I burn. But the Apple Motion Tracker and the MyFitness Motion Tracker calculates. I cross-reference the information, and it matches. So yesterday, I extended out about 1,095 calories. I consumed about 1,775 calories. I didn't really eat much yesterday, so that left me in a large deficit. I was in over 1,000 calorie deficit from exercising. Day before then, I extended about over 1,000 calories. So like I said, I average out about 1,000 calories burned each day. and I consume 2,805 calories, or less. Like I said, because I over calculate. So I consumed that or less, and I was satiated, okay? Satiated, eating the great foods that I love, okay? My seaweed roasted snacks from Trader Joe's, my vegan meatballs, broccoli, my salmon burgers, without the bun. I just talking about the actual patty itself. My whole grain fiber bread. I get 5 grams of fiber in that bread, okay? My eggs, my Chef Wu protein ramen, 20 grams of protein in ramen, a cup of ramen. Having my green apple, my banana, having my soft, juicy mango chews from Trader Joe's. Princess, stop. Having my some of my nut mix. Having my lemon cake protein, a little bit of popcorn, a little bit of pretzels. All this calculated in my app. All this within my calorie allowance, thanks to my expenditure, my levels of exercise. Princess, you making too much noise. Stop, girl. So I've come to terms with that. I accept that. This is actually where I want to be. I have not been in this space at all, ever. It's just, always in the weight loss mindset, and which was AKA a deprivation mindset, for me for a long time. I lost the weight, can't really sustain the weight off, and because I really just didn't have a comfortable understanding of nutrition, how nutrition can still be satiating and still benefit me, keep my weight at the level it needs to be at without me feeling deprived and hungry, and also still feed me, nourish me, and heal me, keep things away, that just overall optimal health. I know this now. This is showing me now. Okay, so I had a setback. I'm here for a comeback because I am 1 pound down, 129.6 currently. So I'm back on track thanks to tracking. I like tracking it through MyFitnessPal. It's because of the favoring features. The previous apps I've used before, my goodness, gave me a headache. Okay, just because I just didn't like the process and how the data was entered and collected and all. It wasn't free flowing with the options for the products that you need to log and all that. Here you got different type of features, voice features, scanning features, all of that, quick add features. We just enter the data quickly in yourself manually. So like it's just, to me, more logging friendly. So that takes the anxiety off me, and that lowers the idea of it being excessively compulsive for me, which was the deterrent, okay? It was the turn off for me for not wanting to track. But I'm glad I'm tracking now, and this is something I'm going to do long term because I actually like it. I like to keep account of the calories that I have for the day, and it's kind of fun because I know I exercise on a regular basis, so I know I'm guaranteed to have a certain amount of calories added in addition to my maintenance calories, so I can eat. That doesn't mean that I can go and eat something for 3,500 calories. That's gonna be I'm gonna get the excess of that because it's gonna exceed the deficit that I'm in. If my expenditure, my energy expenditure doesn't match it. So my energy expenditure doesn't match the 3,500 calories. It's something different if I burn 3,500 calories and that added on to my maintenance calories, and then I went and ate something for 3,500 calories. Then the math balances out, because this is still science and math, okay? As far as that is concerned, science and math is calories in and calories out as far as math. Really, because it breaks down to math. So if I'm not expending out that level of energy for calories burned, I don't need to eat at that level. I have to pull that back. But because I'm extending certain level out, it's allowing me to eat more. And not eat more of the poorly dense, calorically dense foods, but more of the highly nutrient dense foods, but still in moderation, keep the calorie counts in mind, but knowing that you still have some freedom and allowance and leniency in there because of the physical activity that allows you to eat more, which means that you feel more happier psychologically, because that's a hormone. Another hormone is stimulated. Your own, was it dopamine or endorphins? Your own, whatever the hormone you get from food, that positive, pleasant sensation. Get that. You don't feel deprived. You still maintain your weight, or or lose weight, depending on what phase you're in. But if you're expending out the energy, you can make it up with eating more. So this is what this is showing me with my data that I'm entering, and I'm just loving the level of foods that I'm entering. I'm really loving it. Like, I really get to keep account of what I'm having each day, and it helps me pre-plan the next days, because most of the time I'm eating the same things, which makes it even easier. You know, even though I can mentally track that, it's easier for me to track it actually in a tracker so that I don't go over the calories. Even though I know I'm eating the same things, I actually can keep the numeric value of it, which is very helpful for me. It just gives me comfort through the day. I'm like, yes, I feel like I'm more under control versus me being in anxiety before, because I'm like in a deprivation mindset. I'm thinking like I needed to be so deprived to maintain the weight, and doing so will actually make you overeat, hence overgraze and stuff like that, because I actually am hungry, because my ghrelin hormone is ghrelin, you know, is doing its thing, because I'm exercising more, when I really just need to track, keep a moderate account of my serving size, eat in accordance to the serving size and in accordance to my hunger, but track it accordingly and don't go over my calorie expenditure. I'm exercising every day. I'm going to be hungry because exercise promotes hunger. It does. But I just needed to control that by having a control of moderation in serving size, keeping my calorie count in mind. I was overdoing it, but still in a deprivation mindset. Now I'm back on track, and I'm not in a deprivation mindset, because I can clearly see that I can eat the way I want to eat and be fully satiated and still be in a deficit, because I exercise daily. I'm loving it. I'm loving it for me. This works for me. I had anxiety before. The schools of thought were correct that I had, you know, all the things. I was, you know, high sodium. The lipedema wasn't a reason for the weight gain, because I didn't have that type of inflammation triggered, so I don't have to worry about that. But the other things, overgrazing, overeating, overconsuming, which promotes higher inflammation, sodium retention, water retention, and also promotes fat gain. So, I mean, I just was eating too much, is what it is. Pull it back in. But because it was consecutive within, like, you know, days right after the next, it's a combination of the sodium, sugar, and carbs. Princess, stop. Sodium, sugar, carbs. Yeah, definitely. Fat and inflammation there, folks, but that's just what it is with maintenance. It's going to be like that. Princess. that's maintenance. It's going to be like that sometimes. It's going to constantly be a fluctuation in general, you know, for different factors, but definitely in relation to food consumption. It's just going to be that. You live in life. You want to do things, you want to eat different stuff. But I like to stay on track pretty much and try to eat the same things so that I know that I'm pretty much getting the same macros that I need to get. You know what I'm saying? So that's pretty much it for the week 25 maintenance update. I will see you in the next video. Be real.